For whatever reason, the SEC decided to make Ripple their first major case around this, and they sought approval to do what's called an interlocutory appeal. The courts denied that also. The case against me personally and Chris Larson personally was dismissed entirely with prejudice. So, look, from my point of view, the SEC has lost consistently.
An XRP ETF being in the future. What do you make of that speculation?
Well, Kayla, good to see you. I think it only makes sense there will be other ETFs.
We know, we work closely with the Canadian market. We know that, Canada is going to move to T1 at the same time as the U.S. It's our understanding that Mexico will as well.
I am running for U.S. Senate to continue my life's mission to shake things up for the people who need it most.
What do you think Deaton's chances are of pulling off a similar upset?
Well, there's some big differences. Scott Brown was an experienced politician. He had run for office multiple times. Mr. Deaton's a novice. I'm looking forward to meeting him, and obviously, you never say never.
Today, the Stellar mainnet upgraded to Protocol 20. Woohoo! It's a big day because it's the beginning of the phased rollout of Soroban, which will finally bring smart contracts to Stellar.
Enjoy the ride, pal.
It's the XRP Army.
If you got some baggies, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Boon o'clock news. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra. Bullishness. Shout out to the latest sub. We got Clutch 7 in the building. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in, smashing them likeys, stuffing some baggies. Go ahead, throw on them moon suits. Throw on them pilot shades. Buckle up, because the future's extra. Bullish. Let's go full speed, full throttle. Into the cryptoverse. We have the total global cryptocurrency market cap today at 2.03 trillion, down about 0.3% in the past 24 hours. We got the total trading volume in the last day right around 94.8 billion. We got XRP in that number 6 spot, currently right around 53.54 cents. We got Stellar XLM in the number 36 spot, right around 11 cents. We got BTC 50K, 51K. We got ETH right around 29 hundo. We got Flare Networks right around 3 cents, XDC right around 4 cents, Songbird right around a penny. We got Zahao right around 10 cents. We got one from Medico to kick things off. Says we're delighted to be the sponsors of the network, Apro, at the upcoming Web3 Banking Symposium organized by the Crypto Valley, Ripple, Medico. We got 801 XRP, Big Brad Garland House interview speaks on the SEC case.
20th, how would you describe how the dispute has changed?
Well, look, I think for whatever reason, the SEC decided to make Ripple their first major case around this. And look, the reality prior to the case, we had been advocating for more clarity around the rules and regulations. And the good news has been other countries around the world have leaned into that and codified what should the rules and regulations, what's unique about crypto that needs to be changed. The SEC, frankly, has just hired more litigation that, what we call regulation through enforcement, and really just started suing lots of people. And what's unfortunate is they have lost consistently. They lost the Ripple case on everything they cared about. I mean, even the soundbite you just had up, your chair Gensler is saying that a lot of these are securities. What the courts have said in the cases they have brought, and certainly the case with Ripple and the token XRP, the court determined that XRP is not in and of itself a security.
When do you think that this will finally no longer be an overhang for you guys? You're one of many companies that are fighting the SEC at this point in time, but when can you call this an all clear? And do you think that this will make it so far as to reach higher courts?
Well, hard to predict whether it's going to reach higher courts. On everything we cared about, we won against the SEC. Will the SEC appeal and move it up the courts? We'll see. They sought approval to do what's called an interlocutory appeal. The courts denied that also. The case against me personally and Chris Larson personally was dismissed entirely with prejudice. So, look, from my point of view, the SEC has lost consistently. They lost the Grayscale case. I think if you're following the Coinbase case, the tone from the judge is, I think, pretty skeptical about some of the SEC's arguments. It stops, I think, when the SEC either realizes they're losing consistently, or you have Congress lean in and write new legislation. That's probably going to be hard in an election year. Maybe we'll see legislation around stablecoins this year, but I'm hopeful and we'll continue to advocate in Washington.
Speaking of Big Brad Garland House, we got Chad Steinberger speaking at BlackRock's Digital Asset Summit. Funny if you think it isn't happening. Brad Garland House Digital Asset Summit 2024. We got the altcoin daily is BlackRock XRP ETF. Next.
Essentially, an XRP ETF being in the future. What do you make of that speculation?
Well, Kaylee, good to see you. I think it only makes sense there will be other ETFs. It's a little like, the earliest days of the stock market. You don't really want exposure to one stock or one company. You want to typically think about diversifying risk and what have you. And so I think we will see other ETFs. When we will see them is hard to predict. The sad reality of what we saw with the Bitcoin ETF is it was only because the courts forced the SEC's hand and really Chair Gensler's hand that we saw that finally come to fruition. And look, in my opinion, it makes these markets safer. It makes them more robust. And so this is good for the investment community to kind of lean into that.
I'm sure you see.
Gary, you still there? Speaking of ETF, I know there's a debate going on with ETS and ETPs. We have here in summary the inclusion of XRP in the ETF, even if XRP is not considered a security, utilizes the regulatory framework for securities to offer investors a way to invest into cryptocurrencies through a familiar and regulated vehicle. This does not contradict XRP's classification, but leverages the structure of the ETF to broaden the investment option for those interested in digital assets. If you got a bag, welcome to the party. We got the black swan capitalist. The US dollar can borrow its way into prosperity. Keep an eye on the debt market. March 11th. They're just using the Ukraine war to buy time, install the new financial system. With so much uncertainty, it would explain why all financial institutions have gone into XRP. Major Egyptian bank joins forces with Ripple for cross-border payments. Know what you hold? We got Mr. Man XRP. The switch from T+2 to T+1 on May 28, 2024 will be led by the US and include Canada, Mexico.
John, any risk?
Yeah,
coming from DTC's perspective.
Yeah, I think both Ian and Jeremy did a pretty good job of talking about, the impacts of being out of sync, right? Of the US being T1 and Europe continuing on T2. We know, we work closely with the Canadian market, and we know that, Canada is going to move to T1 at the same time as the US. It's our understanding that Mexico will as well. I know when we went to T2, a lot of the South American countries came along at the last minute. So, I think that's being looked at there. I think it's safe to say at this point, even if Europe was to make a decision to move to T2, they probably would not do it at the same time as us. It would be sometime, further down the road. So there will be a period of time where the markets are going to be out of sync. And like Jeremy said earlier, that has happened before. In fact, Europe had moved to T2 3 years before the US. So, it's a considerable amount of time. It's probably time to, dust off those procedures and understand how we managed that last time around.
We got John Deaton. First, it was the schoolyard bullies, and it was the greedy corporations and the SEC. Now I'm taking it on the Washington elites.
I grew up in real poverty in a dangerous, violent neighborhood. I got beat up, but I fought back. I learned life's lessons. And my motto became, no fear and never give up. My mom, my hero, a single mom on welfare, food stamps, who worked as many jobs as she could just to put food on the table. Most of the times it was just beans and cornbread, but she did her best. They called me white trash, but I made it out. It wasn't easy. I was the only one in my family to graduate high school. I worked my way through college and New England School of Law, living in Roxbury. I joined the Marines, fought addiction, cancer, and mountains of debt. No fear, and I will never give up. After law school, I got married, became the proud father of 3 amazing daughters, and built the law practice. I fought for the little guy. I took on the greedy corporations and the heartless insurance companies, and I won. I took on the Washington insiders, and I won. I am running for U.S. Senate to continue my life's mission to shake things up for the people who need it most. Take on the drug and insurance companies for better, more accessible healthcare. Instead of just pointing the fingers at each other, actually work to solve the migrant crisis. Fight inflation that's crushing working families. Work for better opportunities for children. Take on Washington corruption and the division that's killing this country. We need term limits for these career politicians who have simply forgotten who elected them. Elizabeth Warren, well, she promised to be a champion for those in need. Instead, she gives lectures and plays politics and gets nothing done for Massachusetts. I will work day and night to make a difference in your life. I know your life struggles because I've lived them. I know your dreams and your hopes for you and your family because I share them. I will fight for what is right because I have no fear and I will never give up.
Shout out John Deaton, the SEC weekend, Gary G. sheeping, but the Army been peeping. This message has been approved by the XRP Army. XRP drops Brad Garland House emphasizes that John Deaton will compete against Elizabeth Warren.
I think that for a lot of politicians, crypto's become a soundbite where they don't really understand how crypto works, and they say things that actually don't even back up with facts. So, I do think it's a campaign issue. Ripple has leaned into that. I personally, my donations are bipartisan, but certainly pro crypto, and that'll continue to be the case. I'll even highlight just today, John Deaton, a very prominent pro crypto guy, announced he's running against Elizabeth Warren. So I think you're going to continue to see that.
Drain the swamp, free the standard. We got Crypto Eddie, who is John Deaton, the man running against Elizabeth Warren in Massachusetts. What are the chances?
What do you think Deaton's chances are of pulling off a similar upset?
Well, there's some big differences. Scott Brown was an experienced politician. He had run for office multiple times. Mr. Deaton's a novice. I'm looking forward to meeting him. And obviously, you never say never. But Paul, I think perhaps his biggest obstacle, setting aside money and name recognition and all that, is he's got to share the ballot next November with a name that is not popular in Massachusetts and a name that he didn't mention at all in his lengthy announcement video, and that would be Donald J. Trump.
Interesting. We shall see. John Keller, thank you.
Stellar Protocol 20 is officially live, bringing smart contracts to Stellar Mainnet. We've laid the groundwork, hitting major milestones along the way, but this is just the beginning. Phase 0 for the rock solid stability. Phase 1 for the rigorous testing. Phase 2 for full-scale production. This is a celebration of collaborative efforts, hard work, and community support. Let's get building. Network status. Live network up and running. Protocol 20. Know what you hold. By now you've heard the news. The long-awaited Protocol 20 upgrade is live. Take a second to celebrate and learn more with Jay Rice tweets, our VP of the ecosystem, as he talks through Sorab beneficial, Stellar seriously smart contracts platform.
Hello, everyone. I'm Justin Rice, VP of Ecosystem at the Stellar Development Foundation. Today, the Stellar mainnet upgraded to Protocol 20. Woohoo! It's a big day because it's the beginning of the phased rollout of Sorab, which will finally bring smart contracts to Stellar. The Protocol 20 upgrade is a huge achievement, and it's made possible by the collaborative efforts of the entire ecosystem. So first and foremost, I want to thank everyone for working together to make it happen. Thank you. Protocol 20 introduces Sorab, Stellar's cutting-edge smart contract platform, which creates new surface area for innovation and provides new opportunities for developers to build protocols and products that create access to everyday financial services. So this is not just a technical upgrade. It's actually a significant leap forward for the Stellar ecosystem and the most transformative upgrade to the Stellar network to date. It's the result of over 2 years of hard work, hundreds of thousands of lines of code, and extensive community collaboration. Now that the upgrade is complete, we're working with network validators to initiate a phased rollout for Sorab transactions on mainnet. So to ensure that Sorab is introduced safely and that it doesn't disrupt all the products and services that have been effectively leveraging Stellar for years, the plan is to start by allowing a small number of Sorab transactions in each ledger. So these are in addition to the current ledger limits, and then to work with validators to methodically increase the amount after it's clear that everything is running smoothly. Phase 0, which starts today, it focuses on network stability. This phase is crucial for network operators. It's not yet intended for full use. Phase 1 will allow developers to deploy and test contracts on mainnet. And then in phase 2, Sorab will be ready for production use. For developers, it means a gradual increase in transaction capacity for smart contracts and a chance to fine-tune applications. And for users, it's a promise of a robust platform where they can soon engage with new use cases. We will make sure to communicate as much as we can about the phases moving forward, make sure that you know what's happening and where we are in the rollout. This is a super exciting moment in the Stellar journey. The launch of Protocol 20, Sorab, it's a new chapter for the network. And I just want to thank you, the community, for your continued support. We look forward to seeing what you'll build on Sorab.
DeFi, Stellar, fire. It's a huge day for the Stellar or ecosystem. DeFi is coming to Stellar. The Protocol 20 upgrade marks the beginning of the phase rollout of Sorab official. smart contracts. Don't sleep on Stellar XLM. Looks like you're going to need some more of those. XLM bags. We got one from VET, the XRP Ledger automated market maker, plus Fixed Amendment got another yes vote by me, bringing us to 24 yes votes, 69%, and currently still around 68.57%. We need to kick up above 80% for 2 weeks for the new amendment to be enabled. We got Flare Networks introducing XDeFi, the world's first compliant decentralized futures protocol. KYC tokenization means no centralized entity involved. Flare time series Oracle-driven futures market. Get to know all the details of the XDeFi protocol launch plan here. XDeFi, the world's first compliant decentralized futures protocol. We got some charts to close things off. Coins Kid, I know people are bearish on the NASDAQ, but I think we've seen a blow off top here to the red line just before a huge bear market. Many people said that we would see new all-time highs for this chart for many years, and here we are making new highs just as I expected, not only in this chart, but in the S&P 500, Dow Jones. The previous swing all-time high green line and the 20-week EMA are the key supports here. Begin to turn these into resistance, and it'll begin to spell danger, but until that day comes, there's a chance we see the big boy bounce into new all-time highs for this chart. Ignore the noise, respect the data. Bull market. Got XRP, crypto, XRP versus BTC, Valhalla, or Helium. Got two scenarios here. Sometimes I hate myself. Sometimes I can't help but feel frustrated with myself for foreseeing the worst case scenario, only to see it unfold before my eyes. Back then I drew the white circle with the question mark as a reference to a possible target based on the previous cycle. Since then we experienced a pump, multiple closes above the falling wedge, only to find out it was just a fake out pump. Remember this XRP versus BTC chart. I believe XRP is imitating 2017, and we might see a slight bump as we're expecting on the XRP USDT, followed by another major fall. Then the road to Valhalla begins. XRP Army, stay ready and load up. While you still have some time, we got Dark Defender. On the 17th of February, we checked XRP hitting the orange resistance in the daily chart, and supports in the short term should be considered. Below is the update of the same structure. The last point of wave 2, the corrective wave, ends between 51.98 and 50.066. XRP will then tear the daily Ichimoku clouds towards the following targets: to 66.49, T1, 77, T2, 91 cents. Know what you hold, know what's coming, and know why they want you out. With that being said, Batman and Bag Ladies, shout out to John Deaton, running against Elizabeth Warren. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in for another one. No video yesterday, had to drive down to LA and sort out some passport stuff for Australia. With that being said, where will those bags be when that regulation jar molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed? Later glitches. I am the XRP Bagman, the Moon Commander, currently up here on the mothership, stuffing some bags and enjoying the show. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in, smashing them likeys for another one. Some more Moon O'Clock news. Hope y'all continue to stay extra bullish. Continue holding those good vibes. Remember to sell the FUD, buy up those bags, and don't forget to spread that liquid love. Also, if you're new here, don't forget to drop a subscribe, drop a comment down below. All the OG diamond hands out there, drop a comment down below. Drop an elbow on that like button from the top ropes. I'll catch you up here, top floor, on the mothership for the moon party. BYOB. Bring your own bags. Be your own bank. Be your own boss. Peace out, crypto ghost. Later, glitches.
I be getting bags till we blast off. Haters stay mad cause we popped off. Free that standard and drain that swamp. We that squad. Mothership launch way off radar. All them XRP tokens went off. Shout out we say when cause my son on lock. They try to hold us down but we took that spot. BTC what baby XR pay. Flare's supposed to pop 4th of July. Gary knows the truth when on TV then he lied. Pockets full of E,